So EA just thinks we're stupid, bro. Like, I'm convinced fully that EA just thinks we're the dumbest people on this planet. They genuinely think they could get away with doing all this scummy shit. I'm just absolutely baffled, bro. I'm baffled at the state of gaming companies in today. If you guys go back to 15 to 20 years ago, back to the old NCAA games, back to the old 2K games, back to the old GTA games. I know there weren't any online modes in GTA until GTA 5, but we just didn't have this level of greed that we have. It feels like every single year we play these games, they get greedier, scummier, and just more money hungry. But if you guys didn't know, we've had this whole situation with EA where they basically made it a lot harder to play these offline game modes just to incentivize people to buy credits in order to upgrade their player or their coach or their team. But in the simplest terms, right? Because I don't usually make gaming videos. This is like a one-off thing, but I just thought, I might as well because it genuinely did take me off. I do have gaming channels, so if you guys want to go down in the description and subscribe to those gaming channels, please, it'll help me out a lot. And subscribe while you're at it to this channel if you haven't ever seen my channel or just sticking around. I really appreciate it, guys. But yeah, no, EA decided to basically make it harder for you to upgrade your player in order for you to buy upgrades for a player. So you can use your real life money for an offline game. Are you fucking kidding me? And this is literally something that happened between game to game. So in NCAA 26, we're on the 27 now, right? In 26, you were able to utilize XP sliders to basically give you XP in order to have your player be upgraded quicker. So you had fully customizable XP sliders in case, you weren't that good at the game and you wanted to, you just wanted to have fun. It really all depends on skill level. And some people wanted that extra XP so they weren't stuck at an 85 overall senior year. And that's another thing that these players, it's college. It's not the NFL. And even if it were the NFL and it was Madden that was doing this shit, right? Because it's the same gaming company. But let's say it's a dynasty mode, or not a dynasty mode, a superstar mode in Madden. Your player is limited. You cannot play with your player for the rest of eternity. Players retire. Your player is continuously getting older. So taking a look at, college is even worse because all you have is freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior year. And you can literally pour money into your player, or that's the only option you have if you want to increase the level of player that you want. Right? So they took away XP sliders in order to basically monetize an offline game mode. And that shit to me is just absolutely baffling. Obviously, I'm not the only person to make a video on this, but I did want to add on to it because Rockstar is doing a similar thing. And it's honestly getting really scary how these gaming companies are getting so comfortable at making you spend more and more money. But we're going to get into the Rockstar thing at the very end. I just want to touch surface level stuff on what EA's done, their responses, and Bordeaux and his entire Twitter, all that shit. We're going to take a look at a couple of things that he said because a lot of this shit it's just absolutely atrocious. So if you guys didn't know, Electronic Arts actually got bought out by a Saudi Arabia company. It's called Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund. So they basically sold out to Saudi Arabia in short term. And they sold out for a whopping $55 billion. So EA was already known to be one of those companies that are extremely money hungry, trying to find any way to get you to buy microtransactions. But now because they got bought out by Saudi Arabia, I don't know what else to say, SA or whatever the fuck, they have become even more money hungry. Online game modes is one thing because at least you can utilize that, against other people. So I guess there's an incentive to use your own money if you want to get a head start or stuff like that. But offline game modes, are you serious? And honestly, to me, because of the fact that they got bought out for 55 billion, that is a huge reason. Those are the guys, the higher ups that are like, take out these XP sliders and then introduce microtransactions to an offline game. That's why I feel so bad because there are genuine developers that are pouring their heart and soul into this game and are receiving hate because of that or because of this decision that had nothing to do with them. They are just doing what their bosses tell them to do. And it's just absolutely saddening that we're ruining NCAA, this game that is so fun. One of the funnest games I've played in a long time, a lot funner than Madden because of its arcadey nature. We're ruining it by adding offline microtransactions. So here we have EA's response, and Bordeaux was able to just shorten basically everything they said because I don't feel like reading an entire response. This was their first response. They've had 2 responses. We're going to check the second one in a second, but EA responded, but it sounds like they're going to stand firm for now and double down on the changes with microtransactions. Obviously, we know now that they did not, but even then, there is still some sneakiness to go on. But let's continue reading this. So they're also using creators to push their message without making a statement themselves or addressing anything. The core coach level progression is unchanged from college football 26. Is true, but in a normal way is too slow, and you removed 2 faster settings. So there were 2 settings that you could utilize to basically progress as a coach quicker, right? Without having to use microtransactions to further your progress. Then they go down, okay, they acknowledge fast and faster coach progression was removed from Dynasty. 0 update on plan to bring it back. They had a 0 mention of removing XP sliders from Road to Glory either, and they're going to continue to monitor community feedback. Basically, that was a whole bunch of baloney bullshit. They basically said, we know what you guys are complaining about, but we're not going to fix it because we don't feel like it, because we want you to spend as much money as possible. And before I even get into any of the other shit, guys, if you guys are spending money on offline game modes, you might actually need some, I don't know, you might need some reevaluation. Please do not spend money on this shit. Obviously now they've made some changes that we're going to go into, so you probably won't have to, but even then, bro, if you were one of the ones that spent money on this shit, you're actually 12, bro. You actually need some reevaluation. Please do not do this shit, bro. Please do not let Twin Beams here have to tell you guys what you should and shouldn't do on a video. That is one thing you don't do. Now, I wouldn't sit here and lie to you that my Fortnite lock right full right now. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, I got hella skins, but at least I can use that in an online game mode for the rest of my life. There are players here that you can't use for the rest of your life. Do not spend money on a player you can only use 4 years. And not only that, you can only utilize it within a game mode. So here we have their second response. We're going to end up reading all this shit, make it quick. But, okay, so happy College Football 27 launch week. Thank you for your continued passion and incredible response to College Football 27. We love the game and the sport. College football is and always will be about the sights, sound, I don't know how to say that word, tradition, atmospheres of Saturday. In College Football 27, we aspire to deliver the deepest experience to date with all new Dynasty blueprint, new positions in Road to Glory, and the best college football gameplay yet. However, your feedback on Road to Glory in Dynasty is that we missed the mark with the introduction of paid progression options. This was added independent of a deeper mode progression with the aim to give players more choice, but what you said is that they're not adding the value we intended. That is completely false. That is baloney bullshit. You cannot tell me, because basically they added that if you were to, let's say you're playing in Heisman, you're going to end up having less X, or you're going to have more XP, as opposed to if you're playing freshman, you're going to have less XP, basically incentivizing you to play the hardest mode possible in order to upgrade your player more, right? And that's frustrating because if you're wanting to play the highest mode, but you're starting out at a 72 overall, it is very, very frustrating, especially as like a quarterback, to either like take position of the QB2 or the QB3 in order to start at the Heisman difficulty to get more XP. It's just bullshit. You know what you were doing. What you were doing was basically starting you out at like a low 70, so then you would have to play Heisman in order to upgrade your player. Mind you, I'm talking about 5 stars. 5 stars start at like a 72 to, I started at a 68 as a 5-star. Right? And I'm capped out at like 95. But you know what you were doing, bro. You were trying to make as many people buy microtransactions in order to upgrade their player to not have to deal with that 70 overall hump in order to get them to an 80 overall and make the game actually enjoyable. We know what you were doing. But then they said, tomorrow morning, we will remove all paid progression options from Road to Glory and Online Dynasty. An unfortunate side effect of removing paid progression is that the players that have college point balances in their wallets will not be able to apply the balances to Road to Glory or Dynasty. So jump in between now and then to apply your points. So yeah, use your money as fast as you can, bro, before we take this out. Please give us more money right before we take us out, because every single YouTuber called us out on it. Like, anyway, so here we have Bordeaux saying, thank you for listening to the community here on the side. I don't know if you guys can see it, but this is the updated response that they gave us. Now, To this day, to my knowledge, I don't believe that they're going to add the XP sliders back. I do know that in Dynasty they did add the faster mode, so basically you can progress faster as a coach now. But as of now, in Road to Glory, there are not any XP sliders, and I don't know if there's any talks to increase or be able to, increase your XP sliders, especially because that would basically ruin the new thing that they added to where you get higher XP the harder difficulty you play. You understand what I'm saying? So it would basically like coincide with those two things. And I think they're fully double downing on that, even though now you still can't buy your player up to an 80 overall. Here we have this dude saying entire football gaming community in the last 4 days engage 8, bro. Oh my God. They're already making memes of this shit. We haven't even ended the whole shit and they're already making memes. So yeah, guys, that was the entire situation that we had in college football, unfortunately. But I do want to talk about Rockstar just slightly for like 5 seconds because they've also done something that is very ballsy, especially right before GTA 6 is about to drop in a couple of months now. So I know I'm using AI, sorry guys, but this is the only place I could find where they were talking about this shit. And this is the new payout system. So Rockstar has updated their heist economics. Heists like the Cayo Perico heist have had their primary and secondary loot payouts reduced, while other heists now feature large first-time weekly completion bonuses. So they're basically reducing the money you get for heists like Cayo Perico, but Doomsday heists, all these heists that you do that get you like $1 million to $2 million, they have reduced that total number that you actually receive. So now you're making less money. So there is literally zero incentive to do these heists. Now it does say that you feature large first-time weekly completion bonuses. So you can get a bonus to get the same amount of money if you do it once a week, right? But you cannot spam these things like how people were doing, like people would spam the Cayo Perico heist. Now, why is this important? Is because the game is about to basically die because GTA 5 is going to be fine, but GTA 6 is about to come out, right? And because they're reducing these heists, you would think the reason why they would do this was because people were spamming it, I guess, and utilizing these heists to make money, but that's the whole point of doing these heists. But besides the point, the real reason I believe these guys are doing this, or why they just reduce the amount of money that you make through heists, is because this game is about to die. So why don't we reduce the price you get so we can produce more shark cards and make more money? Like, that to me is the reason why these people did this shit. So it's like EA just got done with this whole microtransaction debacle, and then GTA or Rockstar is gonna come and come forth, add a new update, one of the last updates in GTA 5, and make you get less money for the heists that, I mean, these people bought out these DLCs that people bought so then they can produce more money from shark cards. It's just absolutely diabolical, bro. It's diabolical, bro. It's unexcusable, bro. I'm getting sick and tired of these gaming companies feeling like they can just squeeze as much money as they can from us, bro. It's just absolutely sickening and tiring. This is the only reason why I made this gaming video. I don't usually make videos on gaming, obviously. I've only done 2 videos. Well, actually, no. This channel is not new. I've done multiple videos on sports, and usually it's going to always be on sports. I'm never going to make a video like this unless I absolutely feel like I have to, and I just felt like I absolutely needed to, bro. Especially with Rockstar. I wasn't going to do anything about EA because so many people were, talking about it already. And I was like, why waste my tongue? But Rockstar then, like literally days after, does this for their heists. Just absolutely despicable. But I'm going to catch you guys in the next video. Love you guys. So make sure y'all subscribe, comment down below how y'all feel about this. And I'm going to see y'all in the next video.